What if I told you that getting rich has nothing to do with giving up your favorite coffee? What if building wealth wasn't about budgeting every single penny like some kind of financial robot? What if wealth could actually be simple, automated, and dare I say it, fun? Most people think money management means sacrifice, suffering, saying no to everything you enjoy. But what if that entire story is a lie? Today we're breaking down Ramit Sethi's revolutionary book, I Will Teach You to Be Rich, and I promise you, this isn't your typical money advice. This is about designing a life so rich, so intentional, so aligned with who you truly are, that every dollar you spend feels like power, not pain. Stay with me. By the end of this video, you'll see money completely differently. Let's dive in. Before we talk about getting rich, we need to talk about what's keeping you poor. And I'm not talking about your salary. I'm talking about your invisible scripts. Ramit Sethi introduces this concept that absolutely blew my mind. We all carry hidden beliefs about money that we absorbed without even realizing it. Maybe you grew up hearing money is the root of all evil, or rich people are greedy, or my personal favorite, I'm just not good with money. These aren't facts. They're programs, mental software running in the background of your mind, making your financial decisions for you. Think about it. Where did you learn how to think about money? Your parents? Society? A teacher who has broke themselves? Most people never question these scripts. They just live them, unconsciously. And here's the trap. If you believe I'm not good with money, guess what? You'll prove yourself right. Every single time. Your brain is designed to confirm what you already believe. That's how neuroplasticity works. Your thoughts literally shape your neural pathways. But here's the powerful part. If your brain can learn one story about money, it can learn another. You can rewrite the script. Start by asking yourself, where did I learn this belief? Is this actually true? What does it serve the life I want to build? Awareness breaks the pattern. Once you see the invisible scripts, they lose their power over you. You stop being a victim of your conditioning and become the author of your financial story. This is the foundation. Because you can learn every money strategy in the world, but if your subconscious believes you're bad with money, you'll sabotage yourself every time. So let's rewrite that script right now. You are capable of mastering money. You just need the right system. And that's exactly what we're building today. Now, let's talk about what rich actually means, because most people have it completely backwards. They think rich means millions of dollars, fancy cars, mansions, private jets. But Ramit Sethi flips that entire idea on its head. He says being rich simply means living a life you love on your terms. That's it. Maybe your rich life is traveling twice a year to places that fill your soul. Maybe it's taking Fridays off to spend with your kids. Maybe it's ordering guacamole at Chipotle without even looking at the price. It's not about comparison. It's not about Instagram. It's not about impressing people you don't even like. It's about intention. Here's what most people do. They save blindly, hoping that someday, when they have enough, they'll finally start living. But enough never comes, because they never defined what rich means to them. So they sacrifice everything that brings them joy. For a future that never arrives, that's not wealth, it's prison. The first step to financial freedom isn't saving more, it's defining what rich looks like for you. Once you have that clarity, everything changes. Every financial choice becomes clearer. Spend freely on what you love. Cut mercilessly on what you don't. This is what Ramit calls the rich life mindset. Let me give you an example. If you love traveling but don't care about cars, why are you driving a luxury vehicle you can barely afford while skipping the trip of a lifetime? If you love hosting dinners for friends but hate shopping for clothes, why are you buying outfits you never wear while ordering cheap takeout? See the insanity? Most people spend money trying to impress others or follow some script they never chose. The rich life is about reversing that. It's about designing your spending around your values, not society's values, not your parents' values, not Instagram's values, your values. And here's the beautiful paradox. When you give yourself permission to spend extravagantly on what you love, you naturally stop wasting money on everything else. You don't need a budget to tell you not to buy things you don't care about. You just stop, because your money is too busy funding your actual dreams. This is the shift from scarcity to abundance. It's from restriction to freedom. And it all starts with one simple question. What does rich mean to me? Take a moment right now. Pause this video if you need to. Write down 3 things that would make you feel rich today, not someday. Today. Got them good? Now let's build the system that makes that life possible. Here's where Ramit Sethi drops the real game changer. Most people think building wealth requires discipline, willpower, daily decisions. But Ramit says, you don't need to be disciplined. You just need to set up a system that makes being disciplined automatic. This is automation. It's the secret weapon of every wealthy person. Here's how it works. Get budgets. Forget tracking every penny. Forget spreadsheets that make you want to cry. Instead, you create what Ramit calls a conscious spending plan. You divide your income into 4 simple categories. 1. Fixed costs, 50 to 60%. Rent, utilities. Subscriptions, minimum loan payments, the stuff you have to pay. 2. Investments, 10 to 15%. Your 401k, IRA, retirement accounts, your future self. 3. Savings goals, 5 to 10%, vacations, wedding, house fund, your dream life. 4. Guilt-free spending, 20 to 35%, the fun stuff. Dining out, hobbies, coffee, whatever brings you joy. Now here's the magic. You automate all of it. Your paycheck hits your checking account. Then, like clockwork, money automatically moves to savings. Money automatically moves to investments. Bills automatically get paid. What's left? That's your guilt-free spending money. No decisions, no willpower, no should I save this month. It just happens. This is how you remove emotion from money. Because here's the truth about willpower. It's a limited resource. You wake up with a full tank, and every decision drains it a little. By the end of the day, when you're tired and stressed, that's when you make bad money choices. But automation doesn't get tired. It doesn't have bad days. It doesn't rationalize or procrastinate. It just executes every single time. Think about this from a neuroscience perspective. Your brain loves habits because they save energy. Once something becomes automatic, it moves from your prefrontal cortex, where you consciously think, to your basal ganglia, where habits live. That's when behavior becomes effortless. It essentially hacks your brain's operating system. He turns wealth building into a habit you don't even have to think about. You set it up once. Then your money works for you while you sleep, while you're at work, while you're on vacation, while you're living your life. This is the difference between trying hard and building smart. Most people try to muscle their way to wealth through discipline. They white-knuckle their spending, beat themselves up for every mistake, and eventually burn out. But the wealthy, they build systems. Then they let the systems do the work. That's self-mastery, not grinding yourself into dust, but designing your environment so that success becomes inevitable. James Clear talks about this in Atomic Habits. You do and rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. If your system is strong, you win automatically. If your system is weak, even the best intentions fail. So stop relying on motivation. Build automation instead. Because motivation is like the weather, unpredictable and temporary. But systems are like architecture. They hold up whether you feel like it or not. Now, let's talk about a rule that separates rich people from everyone else. They pay themselves first. Most people do it backwards. They get paid. They pay their bills, they spend what's left. If there's anything remaining at the end of the month, maybe they save it. But here's the problem. There's never anything left. Because expenses expand to fill available money. That's Parkinson's law applied to finances. Rich people flip the script. When their paycheck arrives, the first thing that happens is money moves to savings and investments. Before bills, before spending, before anything else. They pay their future self first. Why does this work? Because it ensures you always building wealth in the background, regardless of what happens in your life. Think of it like this. Every time you invest, you're planting a seed. That seed grows while you go about your day. While you work, sleep, eat, laugh. Compound interest is literally your money making more money while you do nothing. But only if you plant the seeds first. Most people wait to invest until they have extra money. But that day never comes. There's always another expense, another emergency, another reason to wait. Paying yourself first removes that excuse. It makes investing non-negotiable, automatic, inevitable. And here's what's beautiful. Once it's automated, you don't even miss the money. Your lifestyle adjusts to what's left. You learn to live richly on 85% of your income instead of 100%. And meanwhile, that 15% is quietly building a fortune in the background. This is how ordinary people become millionaires. It's not through lucky breaks or genius stock picks. Through consistency, through automation, through paying themselves first. 10 years from now, you'll either thank yourself for starting today or regret that you waited. The choice is yours. But I'll tell you this, future you is watching, and they're begging you to plant those seeds now. Here's where most people waste their energy. They obsess over small cuts, clipping coupons, skipping coffee, canceling Netflix. And look, I'm not saying those things don't matter. But Ramit's point is this. They don't matter nearly as much as the big wins. Let me put this in perspective. If you save $5 a day by skipping your latte, that's $1,825 a year. Sounds good, right? But if you negotiate a $5,000 raise at work, that's worth nearly 3 years of skipped coffees. In one conversation, if you refinance your loan at a lower interest rate, you could save $10,000 over the life of the loan. If you automate your investments early and let compound interest work, you could build hundreds of thousands more over your lifetime. These are big wins, high leverage moves, the decisions that actually transform your financial life. But most people ignore them because they're intimidating. They feel risky. They require confidence. So instead, they focus on what feels safe. Cutting lattes. It's like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. You're busy. You're moving. But you're not actually changing your trajectory. Ramit's philosophy is, focus your energy where it actually matters. Chase the big wins. Negotiate your salary. Switch to low-fee index funds. Automate your savings rate to increase every year. These moves take the same amount of mental energy as obsessing over your grocery bill. But they deliver 100x the results. This is about working smarter, not harder. It's about understanding leverage. It's about knowing that not all actions are created equal. Some decisions are worth pennies. Others are worth fortunes. And the wealthy, they know the difference. Don't sweat the small stuff because they're too busy optimizing the big stuff. So here's my challenge to you. Identify one big win you can pursue this month. Maybe it's finally having that salary conversation with your boss. Maybe it's refinancing your debt. Maybe it's opening that investment account you've been putting off. Pick one. Focus on it. Execute it. Because one big win will move your life forward more than 1,000 small cuts ever could. Let's talk about something most people avoid. Money in relationships. It's one of the biggest sources of conflict between couples. One person's a saver, the other's a spender. One's stressed about debt, the other doesn't want to think about it. And instead of talking about it, they avoid it until it explodes. Ramit says, talk about money, openly, without judgment. Ask your partner, what does a rich life mean to you? What are your biggest money fears? How do you feel about spending versus saving? The goal isn't to win an argument. It's to understand each other's money stories. Because here's the thing. Everyone's carrying invisible scripts from childhood. Your partner's relationship with money was shaped by their parents, their culture, their experiences. Understanding those scripts creates empathy. And once you understand each other, you can design a shared rich life together. Not one person's vision imposed on the other, but a collaborative dream that honors both people's values. This is how you turn money from a source of conflict into a tool for building the life you both want. So you're not just managing a bank account. You're building a life together. That requires honest conversation, vulnerability, and shared intention. Not if this video vibes with you. Come join the KM Knowledge Movement for awesome insights on great ideas and books.